off this year.
Just how much is Tesla stock really worth? Well, I guess it's worth whatever the herd says it's worth, whether they're right or wrong. If the herd says it's right, that's it. That's what it is. What if I told you that this 1894 silver dollar was worth $125,000? Would you believe me? What if I told you this one, a 1901 silver dollar, was worth $650,000? Well, that's what the herd says it's worth, if it's in pristine condition. So what is an asset worth other than whatever the market says it's worth, whatever the herd says it's worth? The herd says that this bottle of whiskey's worth $52,000. So let's take a look and say, does the herd ever get it wrong?
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
Let me give you some background on this. I'm 78 years old, and I've reached the part of my life where I figured I better get things in order and find out what everything's worth around here so that if I die tomorrow, my son and my heirs have an idea of what's it all worth. And that's how I came upon finding out that Sotheby's auctioned off this bottle or a similar bottle, same age, same make, whatever, for $52,000. I said, my God, what else is there that I gotta get involved with? Well, my father-in-law left us a coin collection. This is the silver dollar end of it. It's about 164 silver dollars in there. So for the last month, I've been organizing it and trying to figure out what it's worth. And that's when I came up with the knowing that I had a 1894 silver dollar that has a circulated value between $535 and $3,200. And then I had another one, a 1901, that had a value between $45 and $2,150. Now, if they'd been pristine, they'd been worth up to $650,000. And I said, that can't be. But it is. So, and why is it? Because there is a demand. Is the demand real? Well, yeah, if somebody will pay it, it's real. That got me to thinking about Tesla stock. Is it real? It is if the herd believes it is. And in this case, we've got an everyday market. But I want to look at it and ask you to examine it like I did and see if it's real. Now, first of all, the first thing I thought of, well, one of my tribe members sent me a video, and I want to show you part of it. And this lady explains kind of what's happening to Tesla.
A tear this stock has been on, as you said, up almost 70%. We're seeing during this run is that individual investors have doubled down on the stock. It is by far the most popular buy among individual investors. That's according to some Vanda research data as of this year. And single-day purchases of the stock hit a record this year. So as Tesla recorded one of its worst years on record, you saw individuals say, hey, I'm going to double down. I'm going to buy the dip in Tesla shares. And so far, it's paid off.
Recognize what she said. She said this is the highest traded daily stock by the retail investor. Now recognize that 90% of the trades on the stock market are not done by retail investors, but by Wall Street, by their quantum computers, the number of actual trades. But what she's saying is the single stock that is being traded the most is Tesla, and it's being traded by the retail investor. In other words, the guy who just is trading with his emotions rather than maybe hard facts, okay? Then I saw this part of the video. This is the kind of guy who's pumping it. He's got about 500,000 subscribers, and about 500,000 people watch this video, And if this guy came to your front door and told you that this bottle was worth $52,000, would you consider buying it from him? Watch this.
Damaging the Tesla brand narrative collapses in real time. New data proving, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that every single one of the dipshits who thought Elon Musk sharing his opinions with damaging Tesla's brand were wrong. Completely and utterly wrong.
Okay, I don't want to ditz anybody, but I wouldn't buy a vacuum cleaner from that guy, let alone a stock. But nonetheless, this is where it's at. So I decided I needed to put this all into perspective and try to make some sense out of it. And what I do then is I go to my Excel spreadsheet, put the information down, compare it, and then come to a conclusion. So let me share my Excel spreadsheet. The first thing I did was compare stocks: Tesla, Apple, Berkshire Hathaway, and Amazon. And I compared their earnings per share, their PE ratio, and their current price. And you can see here, what leaps out to me is Tesla has a PE ratio of 51, and Berkshire Hathaway has a PE ratio of 18.6, but Amazon has a PE ratio of 65.16. And then you can see what the prices are. And I said, okay, so the herd doesn't always get it right. There are other emotions that come into it, much as I'm showing you, a silver dollar cost $1 in 1896. I don't know, that's probably in adjusted price, that's probably about 2 cents. But currently, if one is in pristine condition, it's worth $125,000, and a 1901 is worth $650,000. Well, is that right? Does the herd get it right all the time? I don't know. I guess there is somebody who will pay that, so it is right until it's wrong, okay? Until it's wrong. And then I said, okay, the same thing with the Peppy. Is this bottle really worth $52,000? If someone will pay that, yes, it is. Okay, does the herd ever get it wrong? Okay, so then I got to thinking, that guy that did that video reminded me of the guys I saw who were doing videos on GameStop. And GameStop in January 2020 was selling at $1.19 a share. After the pandemic got the money shipped out to us, we put $9 trillion into the market, and we got a rush of retail investors. GameStop went up to 103, from 119 to 103, and then in the next year it was down to 37, and now in January it's down to 1690. Well, I thought, well, how does that compare to the price movement of Tesla? In January of 2020, it was $29, 21, $293, 2022, $360, in January of 2023, $101. What does that tell us? It's the power of the herd. And sometimes they don't get it right because they took GameStop to 103, and now it's down to 1 to 16. Am I saying that Tesla, now we know on February, it's not at 101, it's at 200. So in 2 months, it doubled in price. Does that kind of remind you of what happened to GameStop? And then think back to the lady who said it is the most traded stock on a daily basis, and it's all being done by the retail investor. Now, is the retail investor the smartest guy in the room? I don't think so. I think he's emotional. I think he loves Elon Musk, and he thinks there's a tremendous opportunity, and he's going crazy about it. So is Tesla worth $200? Yes, because someone will pay you $200 today for it. Is it going to be worth $200 in 2030? Well, the guy who did the video certainly thinks it is, and it's going to be worth substantially more than that because he believes by 2030 that 90% of the cars on the road are going to be electric vehicles, and the best electric vehicle is Tesla. I don't know if either of those things are right. Peter Zion tells me there's not enough lithium in the world right now to have 90% of the cars in 2030 being electric. He says there's not enough copper in the world to make... I don't know. I don't know anything, but I've got to take them into consideration. So, where would I rather put my money right now? I think I'm going to buy some Silver Eagle silver dollars this week, okay? And I'm going to look for another bottle of Pappy Van Winkle. I think there's actually, because there's not as much fervor, there's not as much craziness around whiskey and silver dollars as there is right now around Tesla. And I think that Tesla has, as the lady said, it's the amateurs. It's the amateurs. The people who trade pristine 1901 silver dollars and pay $650,000 for it are not amateurs. They know what they're buying. They know exactly how many of them are out there, and they know what the demand is. So, that's my take on it. The other take is that if you've got some things laying around the house that maybe somebody left to you, this is just the silver dollars. I've got, I don't know how many. I got half dollars, dimes, quarters, nickels, and pennies. My God, I'll never get through that. But what I've learned is if you can find a commodity that you can gain more knowledge than anybody and everybody else, and it's real solid knowledge, you can make a lot of money in alternative investments. I just don't get real excited when you tell me that the people who are driving the price of Tesla, it looks like it's the same people that drove the price of GameStop. And that's not real. That's fantasy. That's over-excitement and over-passion that is craziness that's driving the price. So I am staying away from Tesla. The other thing that I think is practical knowledge is, have you been listening to our relationship and where it's going with China? And again, you must recognize that 50% of Tesla's business right now is coming out of China. Not only the manufacturing, but the sales. And that could go away like that. It could go away tomorrow. All they got to do is get in a fight over Taiwan, and that's gone. I mean, if I'm Xi Jinping, that's my factory today. Get the hell out. I own it. It's on my land. Get out. So if you're comfortable with that, go for it. But I just feel the risk does not equal the potential reward. So you know how I feel. I'm going to spend some more time on silver dollars and wine, as well as good stocks. Good stocks that are going to benefit from artificial intelligence, machine learning, genome sequencing, genome editing, where I know it is going to make a major change in our world. Thanks for listening to me on this. If this kind of stuff interests you, whether it be wine, silver dollars, or stocks, subscribe to the channel. Come join us on the Discord. We're doing some wonderful things. Mark is over there on swing trading. I'm more of a long-term investor, and Mark is more technical analysis. Trent is more also technical and momentum. They dig a little bit deeper to me. I'm trying to build a channel that answers whatever your needs are. So let's talk again tomorrow.